You ever notice that you got that extra rep or that extra set in? Huh? It had you feeling stronger, feeling faster, just feeling better in general. That wasn't just muscle, that was mindset, right? And today we're going to talk about how those small wins reflect over in real life. All right. My name is Donald Hardaway. I'm the host of the Life Podcast, right, where we discuss business, work, entrepreneurship, balancing those things, right? I share my gym wins and losses, right? Because it's not just about lifting weights, it's about lifting life. And I think that small wins in the gym equate to big wins in real life. That's just me. And I wanted to get on here today and talk about five things that I believe can help in that process, or five things that I use, five steps that I use, the method that I use to uh to get to that point. All right. So let's get right into it. Number one, clarity and vision. Okay. So visualizing, having a clear vision of where you want to be, and have a clear understanding as to why you want to be there. Okay. Because in reality, the distance between where you are and where you want to be and why you want to, that's where the real work is. Okay. So you're where? I want to be 50 pounds lighter. I want to look, uh, I want to be stronger. I want to put on 10 pounds of muscle. This is your where. Your why. Why are you doing it? Right? I want to lose 50 pounds so I can look better in my dress for my 10-year high school anniversary. There you have it, right? You want to be stronger because um, you are power forward and you feel a little light and you feel like 10 pounds of muscle really help you have some dominance in the bucket. Okay, all that makes sense. Here is the real question is why you want to do it more important or bigger than what you have to do to get there. Okay? Because in reality, that is where the work happens. Right? There's nothing easy about the gym at all. Right? Every by default, everything in the gym describes that you are going to or implies that you're going to be doing something difficult. Right? And you have to be able to look past whatever that difficult is in order to be where you want to be for the reason you want to be there. So you really have to ask yourself, why do I want to be there? Where is it that I want to be? And why do I want to be there? Right? Point number two, consistency and small steps. Consistency and small steps. Okay? You don't just go to the gym and lift 300 pounds. That's not how the game goes. All right? You don't just eat an elephant one bite at a time. Small bites consistently will consume the elephant. Right? If you're in the gym, you don't lift 300 pounds. Right? You lift what you can lift. Right? And then you lift a little more because you need to have your overload, right, from the weights that you, because your body will adjust to the weight that you're using. And eventually, you'll need 300 pounds in order to get the results that you want. You see? That's how growth happens. Small steps consecutively, small steps consistently, right? So, if you used to drink, you don't drink anymore. So you go to one event, tell people you don't drink, right? You go to another event, you decline to drink. Now they say people, places, and things, so don't go. If you don't have the power to say no, then don't go. That's number one. And that in and of itself is a small step that you have to do consistently. So you're going to miss parties, you're going to miss celebrations, you're going to miss graduations, or you leave before alcohol comes out. Again, another small step that you make consistently. You see? You've decided to go to the gym twice a week. So you go. Right? You cut carbs out of your diet. So when you eat, it's protein and vegetables. You do that small thing consistently, you get there. Takes me to point number 3. Mindset over method. Okay? You have to have your head in the game. You have to. Right? The method is just the way that you're going to do it. But your reason, your conviction, see? Another life principle. Your conviction about doing it is what's going to have you where you want to be. Okay? Let's look at the mind-muscle connection, okay? You're focusing your mental vision, right? Your clarity and your vision on this rep. Expansion, contraction. Expansion, contraction. Expansion, contraction. You want to get every ounce of movement out of that rep so you can get the most of it, right? It's not just about lifting weights, right? So in doing so, you participate in what they call hypertrophy, right? And you increase your tension over time, and you get up to your 300 pounds. Okay? You can have the perfect everything. You can find the right trainer. You can have the right nutritionist. You could be consuming your right calories. But if your mind ain't in it, it doesn't matter. The method is just a way to figure out, like, how you going to get there, right? That's all the method is. How you going to get there. Nothing more, nothing less. The method is not going to give you anything if you don't participate, okay? a classic example, I suppose, is people who work out but they don't do legs, right? You see this man, he said, I don't train you, whatever the case may be. But you tell he definitely skipped leg day. In your mind, he can't help you with your methods. You see? But you can't help yourself with your methods if your mind is not in the game, right? After that, point number 4 is feedback and adaptation. Right? Yeah. You got to pay attention to what you were doing. You have to. Right? You got to see what worked, see what didn't work, and you got to adapt. Right? You try to lift, you fail at the lift, you adapt. Simple. Right? You can't curl 35 pounds without keeping your form. Right? Lower it down to 20. Lower it down to 15. Don't ego lift. That's just a nugget that I didn't even intend to talk about. I'll do a whole nother video about ego lifting. Either way, that's another conversation. But we don't ego lift. So, form above all. Okay? So, if you're noticing that at 35, yeah, you can curl it, but your form is off and you're not really getting the squeeze that you want, right? So, you go down and wait. Right? You lift, you fail, you adapt. Or you lift, you find success, and you adapt. Simple. Right? Same thing in life. You try a thing, you fail, you adapt. Or you find a thing and you're successful and you adapt. You find out that you really can't do difficult assignments at work after like 2 o'clock because it's too close to quitting time. So what does that tell you? You come into work, that report that you've been putting off, do the worst first. Get it done in the morning. Right? You've had your coffee. You had your fireside chats with whoever else is in the office. Y'all done talked about the game and X, Y, and Z. All that is taking place. Now as you're at your desk, it's time to actually do some work. This is a moment that you do that report that you've been putting off because the deadline is close. No one said you couldn't do it. You just didn't like it. Right? Just like you didn't like doing your warm-up sets. Just like you didn't like going down in the weight. But you did it because you got a better result. Right? Lift, fail, adapt, or lift, have success, and adapt. Right? And my very last point number 5, courageous action. All right. Progress does not wait for you to be comfortable. In fact, progress by default is going to be uncomfortable. Right? You move when you're unsure. This is the decision that you make on a day that you say, I don't want to go to the gym. In fact, I'm even telling yourself, well, I was going to go, but now I got too much stuff to do. I can't X, Y. Go. Courageous fear. Okay? Courageous action despite your fear. Do it anyway. Once you get there and once you get going, you'll say to yourself, I'm glad I came. In fact, not only am I glad I came, I think I'm going to do some ab workouts today too. Not only am I glad I came, I think I'm going to do this, or I think I'm going to do this exercise I've been putting off for a while. I'm here. I didn't really know what I was going to do anyway. So let's do some hinge exercises, right? Working on some squats or some deadlifts, right? You don't have to kill it, but you got to do it. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's just got to be done. Now, you want your reps as perfect as possible, obviously, right? But you want your form as possible, as quite perfect as possible as you can get, obviously. But you got to get something done. And doing it even when you were fearful of doing it or had decided not to do it, this is the time to do it. So, a brief recap, okay? You got to have 1, clarification, right? You got to know why you're doing it and what you're doing it. 2, you do it in small steps and consistently. 3, you keep your mindset over your methods, right? Mindset and your method. You got to have your head in the game. 4, you got to adjust and adapt, okay? You got to adjust and adapt. And 5, take action, courageous action. It's a small thing. It's a system. It works for me. I thought I'd share it with you because, we always talking about how small wins in the gym equate to big wins in real life, right? And this is how I get there. What also helps me get there is the Mustard Seed app, right? Your digital accountability partner, okay? You don't need to be perfect. You just got to be playing it. So, link is in the description. Download the Mustard Seed app. Get close with your digital accountability partner to help you really get from one step to the next. All right? Whatever you want is on the other side of whatever you don't want to do. Right? Download the Mustard Seed app. Join the community. Right? Whatever you want to do is on the other side of what you don't feel like doing. Your Mustard Seed app can help you get there. All right? If you found this content valuable, like, share, and subscribe like everybody else. All right? See you on the next one. Take care.